Okay, in today's episode, we'll be looking at hidden words. This is a part of the verbal reasoning unit. So I would like to start off with a few instructions before we begin to look at some questions. So a hidden word, it says that what do you need to do? So you find the four-letter word, it will be hidden at the end of one word and at the start of another word. So, for example, if we look at this sentence here, it states that the four-letter hidden word will be at the end of the one word and at the beginning of another. So that could be in this circumstance. It could be free with one, so that makes four letters. Again, obviously, you're not looking at the. It doesn't make a word, but I'm just giving you the idea. Or you could have two with two, or you could have one with three. Just giving you that idea. Okay, so these are the combinations you could have. You could have three by one, so three letters at the end of one word and one letter then that will make four. Then you could have two and two. So at the end of a word you could have two letters, and a beginning of another word you could have two. That makes four. And then you could also have one at the end of one word you could have one letter, and at the beginning of the other you could. So these are the combinations that you can have. Okay, now let's move on. It says, move along the sentence carefully, focusing on the ends and the beginnings of each word. Again, like I just mentioned, a combination as something you can you do in your checkups, and we will look at that shortly. All right, let's move on. As the missing word is four letters long, you need to start looking for the final three letters. Yep, we've already gone through that. You may come across a word with three letters that makes sense, or a four-letter word that stretches over three words. You cannot use them. All right. So what they're trying to say is that you could be in a situation like here, where you've got one there, you've got two there, and you've got one there, and that could make a word. In this case, it doesn't. But in other examples, it could make a word, but you cannot use them because they only want you to use find the four-letter word over two words. Okay, over two words, they want you to find the four-letter word. All right, so you cannot use three different words. Okay, let's move on. So let's have a look at this example below. Okay, so what I would do first is I'm looking through. It says Greg decided that omelets were easier to cook than scrambled eggs. Okay, so let's have a look. So we start off with the last three letters, Reg and D. No, that doesn't form a word. Then I would move on to the last two, EG and DE. No, that doesn't form a word. And G and D don't go together. So therefore, it cannot be here. So we know that's not going to work. So we keep moving on. So we got last three letters, D, E, D, and T. Form four letters, but doesn't make a word. Then you got E, D, T, H, two and two, doesn't form a word. And then you got one and three. So E, D, T, H, A, no, doesn't form a word. All right, so now we're going to move to the next one. It's three letters, H-A-T and O, hatto. Not a word that I've come across in the dictionary, so that wouldn't work. And then let's do two and two. So you've got A-T, A-T, and then O-M. Well, now if we put that word in, that forms the word atom. Okay, and that is a word. All right, so just to give you the idea, you can also carry on all the way through and just make sure that there's nothing else. But as you can see here, we've found a word. Atom is a word, and therefore that's where you are ready to move on to the next question. Now, guys, let's look at another set of questions that I've prepared. So in the questions below, find the hidden four-letter word which starts at the end of one word and ends at the beginning of the next word. Sometimes they are spread over three short words. So in this case, the instruction is it will be spread over three short words, or it could be. And you can either underline the hidden word or write it in the end of the line. So if we look at this example, the contagious new illness spread instantly across the small town. So again, if we look at two and two, because you cannot have three and one, because that is the beginning of the word. So if we try that, we've got two and two, that doesn't work. And we've got HECO, doesn't work. And then if we've got one and three, so we've got ECON, econ, not heard of that word. So let's keep moving on. As you come along, so you got OUSN, again, it's not a word. USNE, nope. SNEW, nope. Then we move on. We got EWIL, WILL. So that is will. So again, you can see below they've outlined that. So WILL is the word will, and they formed the answer from that. Okay, they formed the word from that. So now, guys, what I want you to do is I would like you to pause the video, and I would like you to attempt the questions.